What up, it's your man Aaron Sands, and welcome to King Talk Season 4. Let's get it.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, your host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast and 1/4 of the Premier Boy Podcast. And you are now listening to my brother Aaron King Talk Sands show, King Talk with Aaron Sands.
This episode was pre-recorded. King Talk. Yeah, that's me. What up, it's your man Aaron Sands. We are back at it again. You already know what it is. If it's Fridays, it's King Talk. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the latest installment of King Talk. I'm glad you guys are back. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I've been doing something really great with my space. So, first of all, before we get into the particulars and everything, make sure you guys like and share and comment on this episode, with all the stuff that we got going on, and with all other episodes that we have going on as well. It's crazy because, like I said before, I knew I was gonna take about at least a week or two, to figure out like my studio situation, and I'm glad to announce that the first wave of my studio / work my home office situation is underway, and I'm glad that the business is actually picking up with this, because it's a really big deal. It's something I've been planning for a long time, and I'm glad to see like it's starting now to come into fruition. You work hard for a lot of stuff, have a lot of tireless nights and long days. So to see the first wave of this, of my of the space being built out for me and for us as King Talk viewers, to really have a space for us to really push this stuff out consistently, because between time, like with my my work schedule and trying to find spaces to record an episode lately, especially for like the past couple of seasons, have been a bit difficult, to say the least. So I'm liking the fact that this particular episode is the first one in the space, in the new studio space that I have set. So hopefully here's to many more episodes coming out of here as we continue to build up the space and add new tech, not just for my ventures with podcasting, whether it be with King Talk or the Premier Boys podcast, but also with other ventures that I'm currently working on as well. Is a way for me to be more proactive with a lot of the stuff that I'm working on too. So I think it's a really big deal. And I always tell people, when you're good at something, you're good at something, you try to invest in it. You do take that time to invest in it, because nobody is going to do it for you. So you have to do it for yourself. So I'm glad I'm taking these steps, and I'm really excited about that. So yeah. Also, I may become this particular episode, due to the whole setup. I did have to take a week or two to figure things out. But I will try my best, my darnest, to push out 2 episodes this week. This one for last week, and the next one is going to be for this week coming up, this Friday coming up. So be on the lookout for that. So to get right into it, you see the title, you see the artwork for this. We talking about crashing out, and this particular episode is going to be detailed to the fellas. You know what I'm saying? Because from what I've been finding, what I've been seeing, especially as of late, we've been crashing out, for certain situations that really don't need to be that's we really wouldn't need that type of energy for the most part. You got a lot of situations where, and I'm gonna be honest, we typically crash out for mainly two things, right? Either money or pussy. You know what I'm saying? Now you're probably asking yourself, well, Sans, what's crashing out? Allow me to explain. Crashing out is basically a term where somebody goes, way too far in order to, either show something or prove something, or, you do the most extreme, you do something in the most extreme of situations to the point where there's no way of coming back from. And we got a couple of cases that we're gonna talk about. But first, for the fellas, man, there's a lot of situations, and I mean, granted, these two that we're gonna get into are gonna highlight that. But there's, for every two situations, for like real popular dudes or real famous guys, every day there's an average dude that's out here, every day there's somebody out here doing the absolute most, or going to the most extreme to sit there and prove a point to people. And you got to understand, whether it be violence or what have you, the easiest thing to do is like walk away and step back, because by you not doing that, what you find yourself doing is, you're giving more energy to that situation and or person, and that's never good. That's never good. And a lot of times we tend to get caught up with that, especially in our community. You know what I'm saying? We tend to get caught up with trying to, one up our revenge on people. And sometimes it gets too extreme, and then before you know it, you look up and you're facing charges that is going to be incredibly hard to beat, or you end up on house arrest, like the next two people I'm about to talk about. So the first person I'm going to talk about, and I may be a bit late with this one because, it's been a little bit, and the situation died down. Now it's getting taken care of by the courts. Is basically the Kevin Porter Jr. situation, where apparently, and this is according to the LA Times, he basically attacked his girlfriend and ended up fracturing her neck vertebrae and, quote, leaving a deep gash above her right eye during an attack at the Millennium Hilton in New York. Now, I always tell people this, bro, like, especially dudes, and it's tough to really think about it, because sometimes in situations things get carried away, and I know we, tend to crash out a bit. You know what I'm saying? But there's no excuse for like physical violence on a female. I tell you this professionally and personally. King Talk Sans does not condone any type of violence towards women. On a count of three, I always say, on a count of three, everybody needs to keep their hands to themselves. You know what I'm saying? If the situation gets too hectic or too crazy, walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, you already know there's no good that could come out of it. You know what I'm saying? And for this gentleman right here, he went overboard and ended up attacking her. You know what I'm saying? And the worst part about it is he just signed, like last year, he signed a 4-year, $82.5 million contract. So you mean to tell me you getting this money, right? You finally get into the type of money that, that could potentially be, life-changing, generational wealth type stuff. Because you're in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a big name, you're making that type of money where it's going to be life-changing for not only your kids, but generations past that. And then instead of you, honing your craft, trying to build your brand up, you out here pleading not guilty to felony assault and strangulation charges. Now, let me hit you up on something real quick, though, with these strangulation charges, especially in New York. Typically, you get anywhere from 3.5 to 15 years on the strangulation charge, right? And the worst part about that is that with that particular charge, there's no plea or no reducing that sentence. So if this man Kevin Porter Jr. gets like 10 years on his sentence, right? There's no way you could plead that out. You gotta do the 10 years. That's your time. You gotta do that whole shit. And I definitely agree with that type of stuff because, and I don't want to get too graphic or anything, but it's king talk. When you strangle somebody, you have your arms around that person's neck. At any point in time, you could be like, yo, let me fall back, let me step away. You know what I'm saying? Let me, dip out. Or even honestly, before you even got to the point where you strangling this person, you should have been like, yo, let me step away because I know what I can do to this lady and I know it's going to get ugly. Right? Instead of doing that, you had the thought process to wrap your arms around this person. You had the thought process to squeeze, as tight as you could. And you had the thought process to continue squeezing as tight as you could until you broke something. I mean, guys, he broke the girl's neck. Like, it's right here. Look, he broke her neck vertebrae, bro. He broke the girl's neck. Like, and then you got the nerve to plead not guilty? Not guilty, bro. You broke the girl's neck. You know what I'm saying? This is from the LA Times. According to a criminal complaint obtained by the Associated Press, Gazandrick told police, that's the girlfriend, Gazandrick told police that Porter pushed her repeatedly in the face, causing a cut and bruising above her right eye. She also alleged that he wrapped his hands around her neck, causing bruises and a fractured vertebrae. Bro, he broke Shorty's neck. Like, this couldn't have been my daughter coming to me talking about, oh, my boyfriend broke my... Nah, bro. You about to break that nigga body, bro. You gonna send that nigga to the upper room. Honestly. So, of course, he was suspended indefinitely for that situation. And I think he got cut, actually. I'm lying. He definitely got cut from the Houston Rockets. I'm be honest with you. If anything, the NBA needs to do a situation like how the NFL do. When you get caught up on these type of charges, whether it's like physical abuse or sexual abuse, it should be like an automatic ban. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it leads to like a conviction. Yeah, you done, bro. You cooked. Because ain't no way if you got assault charges and you got strangulation charges. Strangulation charge alone holds at least 3.5, at best 15. So he's probably going to do when he gets found guilty, because bro, you broke Shorty's neck. Like, he's probably going to do anywhere from 7 to 10. That's my estimation. That's my estimation, my prediction for that. 7 to 10. Bro, your career's cooked anyway, bro. And anything, and on top of that, this happened to a WNBA player. So now the NBA is definitely going to get scrutiny, and they got to make an example out of you. You know what I'm saying? They got to make an example out of you, and that means you having to potentially not be involved with the organization anymore. And that's something dudes got to understand too. If you're willing to collect a paycheck from a place, right? From a place of employment, right? You also got to understand too that there is like some morality clauses in that when you sign your deal. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about morality clauses, this is something that could affect that. You know what I'm saying? You want to sit there and go upside a lady's head, which you shouldn't do. That's on your timing. But you need to understand that there's consequences to everything that we do. And there's consequences to cashing out. There's consequences to cashing out. But there's consequences to crashing out. Right? And this is one of the consequences. You understand? And it's tough because when you have that future, when you have a bright future like that where you're making money that, you probably would have never seen before, it's tough to deal with. There's a lot that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to be in the right mental space for you to actually succeed and do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And if one of the ways for you not to be in that space is by doing what he did and now getting caught up in the spaces that he's in now. Because now, like, he got to go do something else. And honestly, that's deserved. Now, her family came out on Instagram and said that, it's up for him and everything like that. They're going to, come after him and everything like that. I mean, bro, the feds, but, the law got him. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all going to try to do some crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing that kind of comes with it too. You know what I'm saying? So, but these are the consequences that you face when you're out here crashing out the way you are. Now you going from a serious situation like that, which is very serious. I ain't gonna hold you. You going from a serious situation like that to a dumbass situation like your man's Kenneth Petty was going through, because apparently, you know, when you and your wife gets beef, by the way, we get into the Kenneth Petty stuff now. When you realize you realize your shorty got beef with somebody else, and then they got to hold back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Now you're injecting yourself in the back and forth, which honestly, you shouldn't even be doing no way. You know what I'm saying? You a whole dude, bro. Let the ladies figure out the shit. You do your shit. You know what I'm saying? Because only thing that's gonna come from that is just you getting caught up in that messy drama, and that's not good, especially not for no dude. You feel me? So apparently, this dude, Kenneth Petty, was with his quote unquote goons in the back of a hotel near the fucking loading dock. You feel me? Going on IG Live to Eddie Offset. Just making like whole remarks talking about, quote, you plan that vacation, you be planning your funeral, which it's kind of a tough line. But when you on probation and you still have a reputation for, you have a reputation of being an ex-offender, you feel me? And now everybody knowing your address, because if as an ex-offender, you can't move into certain spaces without the community knowing. So now everybody know where you live, so they know to work their travel around that, because they ain't trying to have their kids caught up in that. The last thing you expect to do in terms of crashing out is to be on IG talking about, oh, we gonna sit there and pull up. You and the goons fitting to pull up. And it's crazy because now you out talking about you outside. But for you crashing out, now you're going to be inside because apparently he violated his probation by making those threats. And now homie not homie, there's no sex offenders, ain't my homie. But now dude is on 120-day house arrest. Dude's on 120-day house arrest. And it's fucked up. It's fucked up because you could have sat there and did anything else, right? You could have been working for Nicki in a way where it could have benefited her brand. Because let's be real, you ain't like you rapping, it ain't like you singing, you ain't busting no dance moves and nothing like that. You ain't moving and shaking like that, except if you're in the streets. And if all you know is like the street shit, right? It's gonna be real tough. It's real tough for you to find your lane in that situation, especially with a wife as famous as Nicki. She's one of the greatest lyricists, one of the greatest female lyricists of all time. So when you're talking about dealing in that lane, you got to find your way in that lane that's productive and not harmful. Because we know you on hood shit, so it's like, all right, whatever, this is to be expected. But now niggas is looking at Nicki crazy because you want to crash out. I mean, you should have been upstairs in the bed. You know what I'm saying? I can't understand how, you took the time to see all this shit, right? And you low key hit your boys up talking about, yo, we about to go on IG Live. Meet me in the back of this hotel by the loading dock, so that way they don't know I'm gone. I can't be going too far because I might run into a school. You know what I'm saying? Like. And then y'all in the back by the garbage, because you already know if you in New York, they don't pick up garbage until probably late in the night, early morning. So they were up here middle of the night talking about yo, we outside, we gonna be planning your funeral, and all of that. If not being wise was a person, it'll be that nigga face right next to the meaning, And this is what happens when you add money and the vagina in the mix, mainly for dudes, because when those components are in play, right, what tends to happen is, we tend to do the most idiotic and stupid things in order to prove that, oh, either we got it, or I'm able to sit there and protect you, so let me beat you. Feel me? And honestly, this comes down to us. But like I said before, it's a major thing in our community. We got to be better at handling ourselves in these situations. If it's something that you're trying to do and you feel like you're gonna have your potential freedom or your life at risk, don't crash out for that. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna crash out, do it for something meaningful. Like somebody hurt. You come home and you find out somebody ran through your crib, or you come home or your girl called you. You find out that that something happened to her. You feel me? And you gotta come handle some shit. Crash out for some reasons that actually going to help benefit your family if you're going to do so. You know what I'm saying? Don't be crashing out because you don't like that shorty lock the door on you on some Kevin Porter shit, or somebody was beefing with your wife, so now you gotta go jump in and be on some street shit when you know good and damn well you ain't supposed to be on no street shit. There's a lot of y'all street dudes out here going left because of some shit some shorty said, or some money shit. You feel me? I can understand if you crashing out for like millions of dollars, you know, maybe that might be a thing. And even then I might look at you a little bit crazy, but I may understand. But at the same time, we got to start thinking smarter, because this is what people want. This is what people want to see from us. They want to see us go left on certain situations. You know what I'm saying? And when we go left on certain situations and we end up in jail, or we end up on house arrest, or God forbid we end up dead, like now people want to be like, oh, free my N-word, free my guy. I'm not freeing shit, bro. I'm not saying free shit, because I don't see the point, bro. You had the opportunity to go one way, right? But then now you had the opportunity to go one way or go left and potentially crash out. You decide, you know, fuck these niggas. It's my pride on the line, and we just gonna do this shit. And then now when you in jail, you know what I'm saying? You gotta fight to keep your booty intact, and you got niggas saying free my N-word. Like, fuck out of here, bro. You make, for every step of the way you make those choices. I seen a post on IG too. This is the last one we're gonna get into before we raise up. I seen a post on IG, right? Talking about how 5 minutes, right, basically changed this dude's life, because he's in jail now. He said in this post, because apparently you get IG in jail. So basically, he said it took 1 minute to feel disrespected, right? The next 3 minutes was basically the fight that ensued after he felt disrespected. And then the last minute was when he went to get the gun and started spraying. And in those 5 minutes, he ended up getting about 15 years to life, right? You talk about 15 years, especially if you got kids. That means, and he stated this too, he didn't see his son's birth till like his first 10 years of his life. His daughter was 6. He missed ages 6 to 15. So that whole guidance that you could have gave your kids, you decided to make that choice to sit there and damn near body a nigga because you felt disrespected in that 1 minute. And this is why I talk about crashing out with our community. We can't always be out here playing fake thugs and shit, thinking that, you know, we just gonna sit there and bust shots at each other and that's just what it's gonna be. I regret to inform you, bro, you got a long ways away. You're gonna find yourself in a world of trouble messing around because you, for some reason, can't decide to maintain your emotions. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's gonna come down to. You got to be able to maintain your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You can't go around talking about, oh, ladies are emotional, Meanwhile, you out here crashing out over some emotional ass shit. So who's really the emotional one? All it takes is 1 minute. And I'm going to leave you with this, and then I'm going to raise up. All it takes is 1 minute to make a decision, right? That's going to change the outlook of your life. The question now becomes, are you willing to, in that minute, are you willing to go one way and then, you know, take a step back and, you know, do what you got to do, not only for yourself, but for the people that love you? Or are you going to take that 1 minute and be like, oh, nah, I feel disrespected. My pride is on the line. Fuck this nigga, suck my dick. You know, and then now you either with the Lord or in somebody's cell fighting for your virginity. Y'all choose, bro. But anyway, this is a short one. I'm definitely gonna be back here Friday. You can follow me on the following. You can follow me on the following: Aaron Sands Premier on IG. Link in the description. King Talk Sands on Good Pods and Twitter. Link in the description. In the description. My bad. I'm stumbling over words today. It's just crazy. Catch me next week, where we gonna talk about some real shit. But until then, it's your man Aaron Sands, and we are out of here for King Talk Season 4. We ain't done yet, but we out of here for King Talk for this episode. So take care and, enjoy your day, night, whenever you are listening to this episode. Hey, what up? It's your boy Aaron Sands, and I know you're enjoying this episode of King Talk right now, but I want to dive in a little bit and talk about the Premier Boys podcast. You got me, Aaron Sands, Ken the Gentleman, the homie Roddy Rod, and long live the Chief Mally Mal, all in the building, talking about the hottest entertainment topics, the hottest news topics, and giving our own take on what's going on out here in these streets. It can get raunchy. It could get crazy. You might even be talking about somebody's mama. Who knows? But every Wednesday at midnight, check us out on Apple, Good Pods. Don't forget to drop that 5-star rating and all wherever else you hear your podcast. Now back to the show, man.
This is the star Roddy Rod, and you are now listening to King